Good afternoon, everyone. Hope all is well. So, we are back with this live session today. And today we have a very special guest where we're going to be talking about sales and business coaching. How do we progress ourselves into the business culture, into the sales culture, and how can coaching help you out? So, here we are. We're going to go live with Anastasia, who is going to be joining.
Hey guys.
Hello, how are you, Anastasia?
I'm good. How are you? How you
Good,
doing?
good, all is well. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for coming on this live.
Oh, it's always a
Uh,
pleasure. Oh,
Super.
sorry.
It's okay. You can choose your skin first.
Yeah. Oh, I always like the inner child goes all crazy and I love messing about, just adding an extra edge.
I I I used to
Variety is
do
the
it.
spice of life. So
I used to
yeah.
do it. Just leave it. Let the other person be the child if they want to.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah. I mean, it's good. Can you hear me?
But, can you hear me well?
Yeah, you a bit
Am I
on
blur?
and off.
Is it
Yeah, a
blur?
bit, yes.
Is it blur?
A
Let me
little.
move from the Wi-Fi to the 4G, so it should be good.
Yeah, could be.
Are we good now?
This filters can be well fun, it's like in business, you do need to add a variety to your to the base as
Absolutely.
well. You never know.
Absolutely. But thank you so much for coming on here, joining us today,
It's a pleasure.
and joining me, of course, in terms of in my mission in sharing the knowledge, spreading the positivity in what you do. So thank you so much for coming on here.
Oh, it's an absolute pleasure. So
Anastasia, before we move forward with the live, if you can introduce yourself as to who you are and what exactly is it that you do.
okay, so hello everyone. My name is Anastasia Banks. I'm a sales mindset coach and trainer. So my background is in corporate sales and hospitality industry, where I've spent like probably way too long that people should. Well, I've been in hospitality since about 2004, so I have quite a background, but specifically
When
in
did you
corporate
when did you leave hospitality?
in 2016. So, but
Good,
hospitality didn't leave me.
good decision, I guess, in today's day and age.
Oh God, yes, absolutely. Sales is very exhausting. So, and as much as I love sales and business development, and I'm all about it, but there came a point in my life where I was thinking, right, I have all this fantastic experience of being a sales director for, big restaurant groups in the city and in Mayfair. And I have this experience, but, sometimes you have the feeling you hit the glass ceiling and you want to do something different with your life. You want to
Of
achieve
course,
new results. You
of
almost feel like
course.
there's a bigger mission. And then, but obviously I didn't want to throw away my sales experience because it's so like invaluable. But I was thinking, you know what, when I was in sales, and that was the main problem, it still is, I had zero training. I had no one to look up to. I had no mentor. Hospitality is very fast paced, and in terms of training, it's quite poorly managed, especially on sales front. So, and this is where this is why I got into sales coaching and training initially, because I was doing coaching with my teams, but it was DIY. I
Okay,
wasn't trained as a coach.
super. Before we get into coaching,
Yes.
I want to take you a few years back into your teenage years, into your childhood years,
Okay.
and just ask you a question. You know, when we were growing up as kids,
Mm,
sorry, excuse me.
it's all right.
When we're growing up as kids, we see a lot of careers in front of us. It'd be our parents who are going through different careers, it'd be our relatives, it'd be our uncles, aunties, friends, whoever's going through these careers. Maybe they're becoming a doctor, lawyer, engineer, and this sort of comes into our brain that, oh, this guy's a doctor, this guy's a lawyer, this guy's an architect, an engineer, a musician. I mean, what did you aspire to become? Did you always have that sort of sales mindset that you wanted to get into it, or were you growing up thinking that, oh, I'm going to be a doctor one day? What was it that you wanted to do?
No, well, funny that you mentioned doctors. Both my parents are dentists, so they
Oh,
kind of, well, at some point they decided that I was going to be a dentist, but It wasn't my calling at all. So I was studying English as my first degree in Russia, and this is why I'm Russian. So
Okay.
I moved to the UK when I was 20. So I didn't know who I want to be, but I definitely didn't want to be a dentist. So sales is the industry where you just land, you know. No one wakes up one day thinking, oh, I'm going to be a great salesperson, let's go and smash it. It doesn't happen like this. So I started bartending, and then I went into hospitality and hotels. And this is how I progressed, because naturally I was always a people's person. So, and my mom actually said the other day that I started selling when I was about 8 years old. We had these market fairs on a Sunday. I used to bake like little cakes and muffins, and I was literally harassing people on the street trying to sell them these cakes.
So you had that sales mindset where when you were growing up, you wanted to make that money, right? And you're not the first person to come on here and share that with me. A lot of people that I've had on my live session as a guest, they've said that, at the age of 6 or 10, when they were at school, they were selling different things to their colleagues, to their friends, just making pocket money kind of thing.
Exactly.
So not to have that stress onto their parents' pockets, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
And to generate that income. So it's good to know that's what sort of drove you in. But then you mentioned that you were growing up in Russia and you moved to the UK at the age of 20.
That's right.
So why that decision? I mean, what was wrong with staying in Russia and carrying on with what you were doing in Russia, and then to come to the UK? What made you make that choice?
There was nothing wrong with Russia. I just wanted to have different experience because I was studying English to become a translator interpreter in business environment. You have to experience it with native speakers.
Of course.
Our lecturers were top tier. They were all brilliant, but they were all Russian. So it was always going to be like car park situation pronunciation. I wanted something different for myself. I was like, I deserve a better pronunciation. And you can't, you have to be in the environment with native speakers for you to be able to pick up on little, slang or
that's it.
Just to polish
I think we match in that idea that when I was growing up in Pakistan, and my father used to always tell me that obviously we could speak Urdu, we could speak Gujarati, but he was always on my case and my brother's case, speak in English. Anytime he caught us speaking in our language, he'd be like, speak in English. And then when he sent me here to study, that's what sort of got into me, that if I stick with my own people in this country, I might not be able to pick up the words or the pronunciation which the English pronounce, the native people that pronounce, how they pronounce their words. So even till today, right, sometimes, like, because in Pakistan, they teach you the American version of pronunciation rather than the British version. So sometimes I get on a call and they're like, are you Irish? Are you Canadian? Are you American? Because it's a mix of my accent so I get the British English and the American English, and I put it together. So I can completely understand of how you must have felt when you came here and you wanted to sort of get yourselves in with the native people of England to accelerate in that career. So how was it coming to the UK, a different country altogether? Obviously Western, but still different. How was it?
Well, it was mind-blowing, to be honest. At this age, you don't really think, oh, I'm going to come down and settle. It was more about, I had a return ticket. I had a return ticket to come back in 4 weeks' time, which I never did. It's been like 17 years almost.
Wow.
And it was totally different, but,
did you get a refund?
No, not that. But my dad, somehow, my mom didn't tell him that I wasn't coming home. He went to the airport to meet me.
Oh my God.
Which was a bit shocking, but never mind. Traveling is one of the best ways to expand your horizons and actually learn new things and, immerse yourself in different cultures, to learn new things, to observe new things. Because, I find it that if you stick to your own comfort bubble, sometimes you can become a bit stagnant and ignorant of your own ways of doing things. So if you do want to grow, you have to push yourself out. So that was a big kick up the backside for me, to be honest. But, I love it. I don't regret it. I love it. This is where I am now. And how
did you sort of get into the job world? How was it? What did you have to do to get to where you are today?
Sweat, blood, and tears.
Of course.
So
course.
it wasn't, yeah, it was a rocky road, but that's what makes you who you are, your experiences. I had a variety of jobs, but I was always a people's person. So naturally, like sales, communicating with others was one of my strongest points. So I went to uni here. So during uni times, I was bartending and working in a hotel as well. So this is how I got into hospitality and started to
And
slowly
what were you studying at university?
tourist business management.
Okay, so you had that mindset that you wanted to get into the hospitality tourism world from that
Uh,
point.
I do and I don't, to be honest. I don't
Okay,
think that I had a very clear idea as to what I would like to do with my degree. But it was a starting point, and as you learn and as you probe new things, then you decide what suits you best. Because at this age, sometimes it's quite hard to find your passion. And,
of
it took me a
course,
while to get to where I love what I do and I do what I love. I was enjoying my corporate career, but it wasn't my calling. It wasn't my passion. At some point, I was exhausted. I was tired. Sales is a very fast paced. It wears you out. Burnout is real. And it got me thinking that as you progress in your life, what it is that you're here to achieve. So I start questioning myself. And this is how I just one day sent in my resignation.
is that a good psychological skill to use, that you question yourself of what
Reflection,
you're
yes.
doing or what you're going to do or what you want to achieve and what you've achieved? Is that a good way of progressing in life?
It is and it isn't, so don't overthink. There's such thing that's called analysis paralysis. So if you're overthinking, you're paralyzing yourself in fear, anxiety, and you block yourself from progressing forward. Self-reflection is very important, but self-reflection has to be objective and unbiased, which is quite hard to achieve by yourself. This is where coaching comes in quite handy, or having a mentor, or having someone wiser who would be quite objective to your situation to help you see things differently.
Of
Because if you
course,
don't sit down and reflect where you are now, what would you like to achieve, what you've done so far, and acknowledge your success and wins, this is very important. To keep track of your success, so you feel like you're progressing, because sometimes progress takes time and you can get
of course,
frustrated that you don't see immediate results.
of course.
And that self-reflection is key. This is how you learn and analyze what works for you, what doesn't work, and what you need to change in order to achieve what you want to achieve.
Do you sometimes think that, obviously, me being a Muslim, my belief in God, and of course, Russian, Christian, your belief in
Yeah.
God as well, do you sometimes think that what we think does not happen, but then the path we are leading on has been put in front of us by God to get to where we want? Possibly the fact that you've self-reflected on yourself
Mm.
and He sort of heard you. And maybe not immediately, but let's say 6 months, a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years down the line, you think, hold on a second. I thought about all of this all those years back. I didn't realize that I'm going to get on this path to achieve what I thought about all those years ago, but now I have. So do you think that believing in your faith, in God, way too much in achieving your success is good, or having that mentor or having that coach to sort of criticize you or bring that sort of energy out in you to get to where you want is the right way? What do you think?
Well, I think there should be a balance in everything. I certainly believe there are higher powers and higher missions in life, whichever people may call that. Your belief is essential to you. So if you're centered in religion, that's your core, that's your anchor, literally, that will hold you down. Think of roots of a tree that
Of
holds you down
course.
through a storm. So we all need this anchor, whether it's a bigger purpose or a bigger mission. So, but there has to be balance, but to be honest, my progress and things that I've achieved is due to my persistent determination, me being stubborn, me being almost at the point of vanity sometimes, very competitive.
That comes naturally in you Russians.
Yeah. Well, it's just, yeah, we
I
call
mean,
it cultural contagion.
I have not met a single Russian who is not persistent, who is not dominant, who is not sort of on that mindset that they want to achieve this and they are going to do it.
Culture. It's a cultural difference. You know, Russian culture is very individualistic. So if you think back of USSR times, once they break free of that, it was all about you're on your own. Our education system is different. You know, there are no group works. You're on your own. And from day one at school, or even like at nursery, you are on your own. So you will learn, you know, yes, you are amongst other people, but you are being brought up with the idea that
you have to achieve it. You have to do it.
Pull your finger out and go and do it. You know, don't wait for, you know, someone to help you. Don't wait for others. Don't just rely on other people. If people want to help you, that's fantastic. You know, you need to be able to ask for help as well. So if you need help in terms of coaching or mentoring, but you need to be proactively doing things yourself in order for things to happen.
Of course.
And that's the mentality that you are being brought up with. Some, not everyone, but everyone's different. I'm talking about myself.
So you did hospitality. You managed big restaurants in Mayfair, in central London. You've done that. Why, actually, before I ask you the why, give me one of your experiences. Maybe a good one, a bad one. What did you go through? How did it shape you up for the life in the future? Whatever it is. In hospitality.
Oh, yes, goodness. Well, I had lots of experience, you know.
The best
from work perspective, I think what kind of really was the make me or break me point when I got my first sales management role. I've studied in a company in the city. They have largest bars and restaurants. So I've started as a hostess, and in a year and a half I was a sales director already. So my sales management role came in like maybe 9 months after I've started.
Wow.
At this point, we were opening a bar over 1,100 people capacity standing. I was 26 at that time, 27.
Wow.
I have 10 telephone lines, 15 hostesses trying to cover. I started pre-selling this venue in August, beginning of August. I started pre-selling it. By end of October, I was fully booked until March, and it was Christmas, so it was 100% pre-booking. So the company culture was the 40% of the business comes from pre-booked sales. So that was my direct. And as a team, I would brought in about 8 million net per year. You know, my sales team would brought in, obviously, you know, there were 7 venues. I was in charge of them, but coaching them, they, you know, and shaping this sales.
And at that time, there was not this culture of social media selling. So you had
no, it was literally,
you had to hard call, you had to email, you had to message, you know, all that kind of
hustling.
stuff.
In the city at that time, where we've just launched the first venue, I was a number 2, you know, sales manager assistant, and then I went into sales management role at some point, and it was Christmas, and I remember sitting there, and I was like, I'm so tired. I was exhausted. I haven't seen my boyfriend at the time for like ages. I missed him, and I was like, this is insane. You know, I'm not even like making that much money. They're working me to the core. I need to ask for a bigger bonus. You know, this is total crap.
I've just made them 8 million.
I was more vocal in my approach to my mentor. You know, I was like, there was a lot of effing words going on. I was like, this is not good. You know, where's my money? And at some point, I was sitting in the office, I remember, and me and the managing director, we were just crying. She was like, Stasi, they called me Stasi, Anastasia, the shortened it. They're like, how do you deal that? I had 10 telephone line. I was switching off for lunch, and we had about 300 voicemails because it won't take anymore. And I was like, I don't even know how to deal with all of that. That was overwhelming, but somehow I managed to pull through. This is where my first gray hair came in. But that was the point where I was like, I need a holiday. I'm going to Russia for 2 weeks. And the only question my operations director asked, but you're coming back, right? I'm like, the bonus better be good for me to come back. Exactly. I didn't sign up for that BS, you know, you know, the learning that I got from that, for you to be able to put your sales team or anyone under that amount of pressure and have these expectations, and expectations were not just high, they were like, oh my God, we broke our weekly budget in, you know, 1.5 days of opening the door, and it was soft launch. And it was our weekly sales target, like for the whole venue. And I'm not even kidding, it was insane. it's not fair to put people under that amount of pressure if they're not trained enough, if they don't have enough support or tools to resort to. You can't just expect people to just miraculously pull their finger out and
Do you think this is the culture in the English corporate world, that
it's the culture in hospitality?
so anywhere you go?
Some venues are getting better, but perhaps being reliant on your team and expecting them to improvise where you would think that they're young, eager, and they just got promoted. For your team to be successful and to deliver the results that you want them to deliver, they have to have the right tools and support for them to do the job required. You can't just throw them in the deep end and hope they're not gonna. It's like sink or swim, literally.
Of course.
You have. It's called conditions. For us to thrive psychologically, mentally, physically, performance-wise, there have to be right conditions. I'm not just talking about here's your laptop, here's a phone, but also, work-life balance, other aspects is very important. Reward, money is an external motivator. It only works for a certain period of time. There's been a lot of research done. Harvard has done the longest research into happiness. Over 75 years, they were looking into people. And they've proven that once people start earning over 70 grand, money is just a resource to buy new things. They don't buy you happiness. You can only, you get happy by getting more money up to a certain time. And then you just like, okay, coming in.
It's like a child, right? I mean, I've got 3 children at home, right? And when I go and buy them a new toy.
Yes, like 5 minutes.
Perfect. For the first half an hour. Perfect. Yeah. They'll be in their corner. They'll do their thing. After that, you will hear like, whoa, what just happened? I just bought you a new toy. It's the same with humans, right? It's the same with elder people. Like, you get tired, or you get that excitement is not there anymore. Okay, you're earning a good buck. You're buying new things. You're buying whatever,
motivate,
Gucci suits or whatever it is. But then after that, that's it. What's there to motivate you?
Well, motivation is quite a complex subject. Motivation has to come from within. So if we look at motivation, basically it's being ready, willing, and able to sustain, not just temporarily, but long-term goal, action, behavior, and to self-energize. So self-energizing means that you are actually doing it yourself. You're waking up ready to go. You're passionate about it. So, and it has to have the right conditions. So if we look at business motivation.
This is where I want to do. Why did you choose to get into this? After doing all that?
It chose me. It just happened.
Course.
You mean choosing to coaching?
Exactly. Well, why did you decide to get into here?
So I was naturally doing coaching with my team and training, but it was DIY. Like I said, we had a few sales training done by some people who had no sales experience. They've never worked even in a restaurant, so they had no freaking idea how things work, and they were totally Scooby-Doo. It was like literally me reading Quantum's physics book and trying to preach to you about it. This is like craziness. And I was sitting there thinking, oh my God, you people have no idea. You literally, your whole hospitality experience is you going to Starbucks, ordering a coffee. That's as much as you know. So, and I saw an opportunity for myself.
You should have told them, come on this side of the table.
Oh God,
do it for 2-3 hours, and then come and train us.
Yeah, I gave them a piece of my mind, and I'm like, this is not gonna work, because you have not worked in the industry for us to train us on sales. Because yes, there are some basics of sales that are transferable to all industries. Sales is sales, but there are industry specific moments that you need to take into consideration, like fast pace, like environment, tangibility of sales, like environment, like housing as well, like airplanes. So it's called yield management. Once the day is gone, the table's lost, the revenue's lost. Simple as that. So an extra month that your house is sitting empty, you are losing money. So it's exactly the same premises. They had not understand the notion of how business is running and how this specific business was running. And I just got tired of sales. I just got tired of direct sales. It was exhausting. So I was thinking, what else can I do without completely throwing my experience? Because I didn't feel it was right to retrain or do something completely new. I was always drawn to psychology. I was always reading a lot of books on psychology of sales, persuasion, motivation, and everything relating to it, like human functioning and behavior. So, and I came across cognitive behavioral coaching courses. So I've signed up. I'm a qualified cognitive behavioral coach. So I use a lot of cognitive techniques in my approach, you know, in my work with clients to help overcome negative self-belief, you know, confidence, boost confidence, to increase performance, because it starts with the mindset. Mindset is key. I
Of
can give you
course.
the best tools to work, but if you don't feel confident, it all goes out of the
This
window.
is what it is. Like, let's say that I hear this from many of my friends or people who I've worked with. You know, they've basically gone to a mentor, sat there with them, or a coach, whatever it is, business, sales, you know, mindset coaching, sat there with them for that half an hour. Perfect, amazing, energy is there. But as soon as they leave the door,
That's it. It goes down again. Yeah,
gone.
yeah. That's the thing. You know, that's the problem I see in some coaching. Coaching is not regulated in the UK. Unfortunately, there's a lot of Scooby-Doo people who would literally be like, imagine you go to the dentist and he goes like, oh, by the way, let me give you some mani pedi and a facial. This is like a joke, an absolute joke. Some coaches, they're like one-man band. A, you have to have a niche. B, you have to have relevant qualification to work with people, because you are working with a human being who has feelings, emotions, and you need to be aware of your capabilities, where they end. I'm not a psychologist, not yet. I want to do a proper BA. However, I'm finishing my master's in positive psychology. I use a lot of tools to help you optimize your functioning. I'm not looking to fix you. I'm looking at what's good and how we can make it better. I'm looking at things like why things don't work, but we don't dwell on your past traumas and childhood shenanigans. We're looking at it from perspective of learning what went wrong and how to avoid it in a business scenario. I only work with business, you know, settings. I don't do like
CEOs, directors, all that kind of stuff.
higher level, yes, higher
Sure.
level, who want to upgrade the skills and learn new ways of doing things and optimize your performance. So if you look at it from that perspective, so if you think of like some coaches, they try to be like that garage. If you take the car and they will be like trying to sell you a new exhaust and this is wrong and this is wrong. I don't do that, you know. So if you think of me, so it's almost like a garage where you bring the car to put up a new subwoofer to make it look better, to tune it up, so to make it stand out, make it look more
Enhance the
aggressive,
car
more
rather
mean,
than
and
selling the stuff to you to, you
crank up
know.
performance. Yeah.
Exactly. Totally
So,
get it.
but you have to be quite aware of your skills. You know, people specifically drawn to me from my background in sales. You know, we either like people who are like us or how we would like to be. You know, this is as simple as that. In sales, people buy people first. People who come
Of
to me, they
course.
love my energy, they love my vibe, they love my background. They either want to have more of them for themselves, or they want to learn how to become a bit more vibey, a bit more not aggressive. Some want to be more aggressive in their approach, and that's totally fine depending on what they're hoping to achieve. So
Do you ever knock down your client? Like, let's say they're
give them
wrong in
like
their
complete
mindset.
bollocking.
Yeah,
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 it
yeah. Do
happened
you
a
do
few
that?
times. Yeah. Sometimes
Wow.
you have to ground an individual. You know, obviously you have to build relationship and build rapport first, because if you don't build this trusting environment, coaching is a safe space to explore your aspirations, to explore your challenges, and to move forward in a safe and empowering way. As a coach, I am not judgmental. I'm not here to judge. I'm not here to criticize you. I'm not here to fix you. I am simply a guide. You know, I have the skills that I can share with you. I have the techniques, and it's called guided discovery. So it's a Socratic method that I ask the question to prompt the person to come to their own conclusions, because it's more powerful. And then I teach them. However, sometimes I have to be really like, you know, cut the crap, what's going on, you know, with a
Got you.
client. But for you to get to that level of you know, mentality, you have to build the foundation first, and this is
Of
rapport.
course.
People
Of
need to
course.
open up to you first, to listen to you.
And how many sessions does it take for someone to, let's say, open up to you? I mean, does it take one or does it take
It really depends. You
10?
know, some people can be quite resistant, even though oh, thank you. I'm reading some comments.
Yeah.
Yeah. um, it really takes time, to be honest. Generally, session one, people would looking initially, if we talk about coaching or sales, it's called sales cycle. So we all go through it as a business, you know, even if it's just me or you, it doesn't matter. People start with research. They look at you, they look at your social media, they get the feel how like what's your vibe, you know, what's your energy, what you're saying, whether it resonates with you. So they come to me already knowing sort of what I'm like. I have a lot of videos available so people can have a look what kind of value I can bring to them. So they
Of
already
course.
have some preconceived idea of what they can get out of me. But there's
I mean,
always
since I've been following you, I've been looking at your stories, and amazing, amazing
thank
work
you.
that you're
Yeah,
doing.
I try
And
to share like tips with people.
already, like I feel like I'm sold. You know, I need to book a coaching session with you to get to where I want. But let's see how that goes.
Good.
So currently, right now, you're doing what you're doing, and you're also studying at the same time doing your master's,
I'm completing.
correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Completing your master's. How are you finding the time to do both? Of course, and you're a mother, so you have a
Time,
family.
yeah. I have a little boy. He's gonna be 2 in December. A complete rascal, full of energy, hyperactive. Yeah, he's lovely, but this boy is something else.
I kind of understand where it comes from now to him.
Yeah, is a well. Time is a struggle, but it's a balance. It's all about
Of
balance,
course,
about discipline.
of
So it's
course.
all about having a plan and hire kind of okay what I'm hoping to achieve. So I have few recorded courses already online. I'm recording courses on the background slowly. So I'm also a visiting lecturer at academy in Saudi Arabia. So I'm
Wow.
doing some training for Saudi Arabian people, and soon to be training some people in Abu Dhabi. So Middle East is like booming these days. They do want mentorship, which is great. Good news for us. So
Super.
being disciplined is key. Sitting down persistently, doing one thing, but consistency I find is very helpful in my case, because when life happens, lockdown, this, that, the other, this is life. Especially when you have children, you have to be consistent with what you're doing to see continuous result. If
Of
you do
course.
some stuff for a little bit and then just drop it, then you'll see a drop in performance. So every day I try to plan something for me. Okay, so I'll do XYZ. So I almost like prepare things in advance. I
So do
plan
you
in
have
advance.
every morning you have a to-do list that you go through?
Almost, yeah. So
Do you think that to-do list is key?
and not for everyone. It doesn't work for everyone. Not for me, really. I'm more of a creative thinker. Some people are visual, so they will very benefit from vision boards. If you see like pictures in your head, you're visual. You need to see almost like pictures of what you want to achieve. Like if you want to get rich and buy a Bentley, you need to have a picture of a Bentley on your desktop. That will be, it's called a Mojo image. It's actually an imagery exercise. So every time you
Okay.
look at it, you'll be prompted
You're
to
like,
go and hustle
I wanna
hard.
get that. I wanna get that. I wanna get that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I tend to almost like plan in advance on a Sunday, prepare a few things that I want to post for social media, and I try to optimize things, like instead of like sitting and wasting time on LinkedIn because it takes ages to connect to people, I just optimize. I have a CRM system that does it for me, that saves my time, because otherwise I won't be able to achieve what I want to achieve with the time that I have.
Of
Um,
course.
so do little steps towards the direction where you want to go, but do it consistently. This is the key. It's almost like getting into the right mindset and creating a habit. It takes a while for us to create a habit.
You're totally right. You're totally right. Instead of someone doing it for like an hour every day, do it for like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Bring that
Yeah.
up. Bring that
Listen,
up
it's like with
constantly,
exercise. Yeah.
consistently, and get to that hour where you sit down and then you're thinking like, yep, now I can do it for an hour.
Yeah.
But going away straight on doing it for an hour and then sort of pulling yourself back, it just gives a different image of
Yeah.
yourself.
If you get distracted, genuinely, if you were doing something and you got
Call up
distracted,
Anastasia.
it will take you about 20 minutes to get back to what you're doing. So you've lost that productivity momentum. So
Of
there are
course.
different like time management techniques that people can use, but I just tend to, like focus on one thing, do it. Single tasking is also very helpful if you find overwhelming sometimes to stick to something and you're like all over the place. Try single task, do it for 25 minutes. Called Pomodoro techniques, very helpful. When you focus on one thing for 25 minutes but you block out all the distractions, like put do not disturb, put the timer on, and then you have a little break, 5 minutes, then do something else for 25 minutes. You can achieve a lot more out of it. But if
Wow.
you're not consistent, then you'll start procrastinating. And this is where a coach comes in handy, because coach will add this accountability in the play. The other reason sometimes why we don't achieve what we want to achieve despite our best efforts is because we don't check back on the progress. If your goal is not set, if you don't give yourself a timeline, specific timeline to go back into, if you don't know how to measure your success, if you don't sit back and reflect what we were talking originally, if you don't think, okay, what have I achieved so far and how far do I need to go? Do I need to reshape my strategy? Is it working? You know, because sometimes people are just being in denial about their ways of doing things. You know, if
Of
something
course.
doesn't yield the results that you want, you need to change your ways around it, regardless of how like difficult and uncomfortable it is for you. You know, comfort, like confidence come from discomfort. You know,
Of
you have to
course.
be uncomfortable in your position to like push your boundaries, start doing things differently for that, for you to then feel comfortable
I
in
think
your
this
own
is what it
skin.
is. People get comfortable doing something, and that's
And this
what
is
they
where you
sort of
start to stagnate.
carry. That's what they sort of carry on for
Yeah. Yeah.
goodness,
Well,
years,
it's a
two
matter of
years, three
habit. It's
years,
very
4 years.
powerful. Yeah.
Exactly, exactly.
Mental
But
laziness, that's the other point.
that's it. This is where you need to sort of be uncomfortable, get out of your way. And that's the whole point. This is how I started my live sessions, you know, lockdown, sitting at home, no property selling, what to do. So I started
Yeah.
talking to myself. And
Yeah.
then that was like coming onto camera. You don't know who's going to come on, you know, what you're
Exactly.
talking about. But now we are, I'm like,
Yeah,
I
exactly.
think
It doesn't matter who's
I've done
watching.
160 live sessions with different
Good
people
for you.
from different backgrounds. It'd be a chef, it'd be an actor, it'd be a coach, musician, different people. So this is what it is. But it's been absolutely amazing talking to you, getting all that energy out, what, you know, in what you do, how you do it. It's been super amazing talking to you.
Thank
Before
you.
you go, it's been a positive, and let me tell you, it's been an absolutely positive live session I've had. But before you go, I do this with all my guests that come on here. We've gone through enough negativity since the start of the year, and every day we're getting when we turn on the TV, negative, negative,
Yeah.
negative. What positive advice would you like to share with the world today so that they can take that on
You're
board
you're you're
and move
breaking out a
forward?
little bit.
Hello, can you hear me? Can you
The
hear me?
sound is a bit. Yeah, I can hear you now. Can you repeat the question, please?
So I was saying that what positive advice would you like to share with the world today so that they
What
can take that on board and
what
move
positive
forward in life?
advice? Well, you do and your actions are the only things that are within your control. You know, there's no point of on worrying about things that's going on, like weather or a train being late. There's nothing you can do about this. However, what you can do is to control your actions and your thoughts and put your effort into an energy, which is more important, because where your energy goes, focus on yourself. Focus on your
Yep,
priorities. Put yourself first and let the other people do their business. So just mind your own business and keep going. You know, don't give up. You know, you can do it all. You can achieve anything that you want to, if you put your head into it and you're being persistent with your actions. And get a coach.
absolutely. Like like Anastasia said, keep going. But thank you so much for coming on
Oh,
here,
thank you for having me.
sharing all that knowledge, positivity with us. And I'm sure I'm going to give you a call, but there'll be other people that will give you a call in terms of
Fantastic.
coaching them, whatever it be business, it be sales, whatever it is. Get in touch with Anastasia. I'm sure the energy will help
Yeah,
you out in where you want to go. Super.
lovely.
Thank you so
Enjoy the
much.
rest of your day. Take care. Speak soon.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. So that was Anastasia Banks, a business and sales coach, getting people to achieve what they want to achieve in life by coaching them. Super amazing lady. Check her out. If you want that coaching in your life and you want to achieve that success and you can't get there, but you need a mentor, you need a coach, get in touch with her. Thank you to Anastasia for joining me today. Thank you to all the viewers that tuned in. It's been a pleasure talking to you, and I shall see you again soon on my live session. Take care. Bye bye.